Note the disclaimer. And remember that my Patreon supporters got to see preview images, work in progress shots, and high resolution photos of the completed figure. If you want to join them, even the smallest donation helps. Link is in the description below. Actually, before I cut to the theme song, I think we need to have a brief little prologue here. Internet Rule 63. It's the idea that you can find gender-swapped fan art of just about any fictional character that exists, and there's almost no exceptions to this. All you have to do is do a Google search for Rule 63, and there it is. It's all over the place. This is actually such a common trope that it's even been officially embraced. Remember the Fiona and Cake episodes of Adventure Time? Do you honestly think that those would actually exist if it wasn't for Rule 63? And I want to stress that this is not necessarily for the purposes of porn. That's Rule 34. Rule 63 is just about gender swapping, and how it's actually a really common trope. Actually, speaking of Rule 34, I want everybody to know that my channel is always going to be pretty much safe for kids to look at. At worst, it's going to be PG-13. You'll never find anything inappropriate or even something that isn't work safe on here, for the most part. However, I really don't impose any limits on what I'll make a custom based off of. So the source material of what I base my figures off of might actually be adult rated. And this is one of those cases. This figure is based off of the artwork of an artist named Miss Phase. And she's a really good artist, but, she is also a pornographic artist, so, like I said, there's absolutely nothing in this video which is inappropriate for children to look at, but, don't go seeking out the source unless it's appropriate for you. I just wanted to get that out there. Okay, that being said, theme song. Alright, so with all the disclaimers out of the way, let's get on with Shade Guy's commission. He wanted Sonikko. What is Sonikko? Well, basically it's Sonic the Hedgehog with Rule 63 applied. And since this particular Sonikko is based off of the artwork of Miss Phase, we got a particularly curvy version. Wait a second. You know what? What's up with Ego Raptor's tweet up there? I had fun playing Sonic Mania. I was under the impression that Sonic Mania was pretty universally well received. Everybody loved that game. Why is it such a big deal that he liked it? I mean, it would have been more impressive if he said that he liked Sonic Forces. That's something that you could stand by. But, whatever. The base figure for Sonikko is, on paper, Wave, but I ended up only using Wave's torso for this. The head and limbs are still Sonic's, and I used the hands and feet from a Blaze of Cat, so there would be high heels and daintier fingers. So this actually makes Sonikko significantly taller than Sonic by almost 1/4 inch, I believe. But I think it still works because, Sonikko is wearing high heels, whereas regular Sonic is wearing flats. So, of course Sonikko is going to be taller, right? Assuming that they'd be the same height. So, yeah. Now, there is another source that I really should thank for me being able to make this, and that is Rushina Tendo. Yes, this is a 5-inch mini statue I have of the main character from an anime called Grenadier the Smiling Senshi. Basically, it's kind of like a fan servicey version of Trigun. It came out back when I was in college. And, sometimes I keep this thing on display on my desk, and sometimes I use her as a model for when I need to make a particularly large, round, perky pair of jubblies. And this is pretty much exactly that kind of case, because this version of Sonikko basically has the same bust line. I did mention that my channel can occasionally dip into PG-13 territory, right? I feel like my family is gonna be really yelling at me when they find their kids watching this, because I know my own nieces and nephews are subscribed to me. Oh, this is gonna make Christmas awkward. So yeah, I had to sculpt the other end too, and everything is all painted in, and I couldn't decide whether it would be worse to not paint any underwear in there, or to spend all the time getting into all the details of the underwear, but yeah, I had to do it. Alright, so let's cover that up a little bit, huh? Let's talk about the dress. It's made out of the silicone rubber part of an earbud. Yeah, I just had to turn it inside out, cut off the part that sticks it onto the mechanical bit, and it actually makes a skirt that fits pretty darn well over Wave's hips. So yeah, like now Sonikko has a skirt, and we can move on to less controversial parts of the body. Let's leave it that way. Oh my god, I just realized that I have Ivy from Soul Calibur coming up pretty soon, and that's going to be even worse than this. Oh boy. Anyway, the head is still Sonic's. I sculpted on a hairband that goes behind the ears, as seen in the artwork, and I gave a bottom lip so that you can get like the pouty makeup look that she has. Of course, the short, straight spines don't work for Sonikko's design because Miss Phase draws Sonikko with wavy, curved spines. So this involved cutting half of Sonic's existing spines off and resculpting them. I couldn't resculpt them too big because they didn't want to make the figure top-heavy. Ha ha ha. You know, like, I feel that this works. It's big enough to get the style across and not so big that it throws the figure off balance. You gotta be a little bit careful when standing it, but you always have to be careful when you're standing a Sonic figure, right? So yeah, I was actually happy that I was able to do this with Sonic's head because I was afraid his face wouldn't look feminine enough, and then I had to like take an Amy head and massively modify it because I think it doesn't even fit on the neck peg. But nope, I got it to work. As for the arms and legs, this version of Sonikko isn't wearing socks or gloves, so that meant having to carve away a whole lot of material from the wrists and ankles of the Blaze figure, and then having to sculpt everything smooth. Unfortunately, this does mean that ankle and wrist articulation is lost. I tried to preserve them, but it just wasn't working. So the ungloved look and the sockless look is preserved, and we have Sonikko wearing, you know, this. This is just kind of the thing, like, see, when you make a Sonic figure and they're not wearing any socks, it just ends up looking like they have some pretty impressive cankles, but, you know, that's just a failing of the style, I guess. I mean, it's what happens when you try to look like Mickey Mouse. Alright, let's take a look at the completed figure. And there she is! Okay, now I want to get one thing out there, and to be perfectly clear for all of you, I did not regret making this. I actually had way more fun than I really should have making this toy. It was actually, like, this is just like a laugh riot to me. This is just fun a minute, like I'm like sculpting this like, wow, I'm actually doing this. Oh, look at me, I'm doing this thing, haha. And then I did that, and like, oh wow, that's gonna turn some heads. So yeah, like I don't want anybody to think that I did this reluctantly or that I didn't enjoy the end result because this is just a laugh riot for me. I super enjoyed myself, and I think it actually borders on guilty pleasure for just how much I like doing this. I mean, personally, I didn't think that I'd be that into Sonikko, but hey, look at me, having the time of my life making a toy of her. And yes, of course, you know I'm gonna mess around with the figures that I already have. Well, have you met me? So yeah, I mean, yeah, like, alright, I guess right by now I'm just sort of just going way too long into this, but, yep, had a ton of fun making this figure. I think it came out really cool, and, we'll see you guys next time here on, Wake Angel 2001's toy custom figure making channel of fun.